Welcome boys to episode 2 of Backtesting Bitch, and in today's episode we're going to be going over what you actually need to be tracking when you are looking to backtest, and that is obviously going to be completely dependent on what you're looking to get out of your backtesting. Whether you're looking to refine your model, or whether you're just looking to test different pairs, or whether you're looking to just generally test a model that you've been taught and that you're looking to trade. I mean, as you can see here on the screen recording, this is the most basic of backtesting in terms of data collection. This is all the columns you're going to need. So obviously you're going to need Google Sheets, you're going to need tradezella, code Willows at checkout for 20% off. But if we just have a look on here on the sheets, we got the pair of choice. Obviously it's going to depend on what you want to be trading, the date, day of the week, entry, session, time of entry, length, risk to reward gain from that trade, whether it's positive or minus, total risk to reward, so that'll be running throughout the days, and trades that you've taken, and then the model. Now, for you discretionary traders, you might want to have confluences used. If you're using different confluences every single time, I personally use the exact same confluences every single time. There's only 3 different models within the strategy that I trade, and that's the 5-minute, 15-minute, and NYC. If you know, you know. Tap and Barrel boys will know. But when we're looking at just testing different pairs, I would say that this is all you need to be doing. And obviously we're going to have to be using tradezella when we're actually back testing, but this is all you need to be tracking. What you want to be looking at is biggest loss streaks, biggest win streaks, total R gained over multiple years, and then the trade frequency, because obviously if the trade frequency is extremely high, you're going to open yourself up to a lot bigger loss streaks and you're going to be trading too much. You don't want to be trading too much. I'd say the sweet spot for me that I've found is about 8 to 12 trades a month. That is probably the sweet spot for me, and that's around what I'm trading at the moment. But I'm just going to crank open one of these bad boys, the little birdies. Those who have been Southeast Asia, you may know. To the dome. Okay, now you can see on the screen I've got tradezella up, and what you need to be doing is go over to create session. And when you go to create session, if we're just testing a new pair, go Euro USD testing. And obviously this is going to depend on what pair you want to test. Little description, I don't think that's necessary. Symbol, obviously you're going to have to put in the pair that you are looking to trade for that day. And then start date. What I'd say is you don't want to be going too far back. I know on there it says I've got 42 years. That's across loads of pairs. I've not gone back 42 years on one single pair, because that data, the charts are going to be very different back then. So I wouldn't say that that's too valid. I would say what you're going to be looking at is the previous 3 years minimum on one pair to get a real understanding of how that performs for your model in the current times. Obviously, the markets are ever changing, but backtesting allows you to have a good point where you can make an educated guess based off data and what's played out repeatedly for a long period of time. So, start date, I'm going to do on here the 1st of the 1st, 2022, let's say. And then we'll just go to today on there, and then start balance does not matter. I will never actually place the trades on tradezella because there is no need. Google Sheets is completely fine. Often with the tradezella, like placing the orders, it can all become a bit fucked and it can just ruin everything. But all you need to be doing now, as you can see on my screen, this is completely different to what my actual charts look like. This is the basic chart. Right boys, so now what we need to do is just replicate everything that's on our trading view charts, the charts that we're actually trading on, onto tradezella. Now that is just gonna mean there's no confusion, there's no differences between anything. It's gonna make it so much easier to backtest in there, as you have all the presets, such as, like for me, when I have on my lines, I have Asian low, Asian high, you can see it all on here, break of structure, London high, London low. That will just make everything so much easier to backtest and just make everything so much quicker. When we've got the presets, that's gonna make it so much easier to get through those reps. Obviously, we wanna get as much data as we can. So once we've got everything set up on the tradezella chart, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. It's not very hard. All you need to do is go over to the settings. So to set everything up, all you need to do is go over to the settings up in the top right corner. Obviously, you're gonna have to change your candlestick colors, and you're gonna have to sort everything out on here. Make sure that on the UTC, it is on London or whatever time zone you are trading on. But as you can see here, I'm just setting everything up. So it's the exact same as my charts on TradingView. And obviously the candlestick colors don't matter as much, but for me, I use an indicator, which is the fractals indicator. So I need to make sure that that's on there. And then what we can do is we can start actually looking to track data, actually look to start back testing. Okay boys, so as you can see here, I've now got my charts looking the exact same or very similar to my TradingView charts. The colors, it's not that important. However, everything else is. I've got all my presets saved and they're all ready to go in terms of my fib tool, my position tool, all of my line tools. So all that you need to do now is go away and obviously put the hours in. In terms of ease of use, tradezella is very easy to use. As you can see here, if you click the play, it will just start playing for you. You can change how fast this goes down at the bottom. and then the time frame, if you want to sync time frame or what time frame you want to click forward on. You obviously need to have all of your time frames up on the top left here. They all need to be the same as obviously whatever you're trading on. And then what you need to be doing is taking the trades on here. You don't need to use the tradezella order placing, but what you do need to be using is the position tool. And then what I'll do is I'll get some examples and we'll show you how you're actually going to track that data on your Google Sheets, because that is what is important. You can go through the motions and backtest, but if you're not tracking anything, you're not going to gain anything from said backtesting. Okay, and when we're coming on to actually trading and making sure that we're backtesting the right way, you need to be doing the exact same things as what you're doing when you're actually trading. So as you can see here, I'm bullish on the day. I've marked out Asian low, so I'm waiting for a sweep of that. Nothing has changed. I'm still going to mark out the exact same session times, and I'm still going to make sure to be checking news. If you have news rules in place and you're not checking them and you're not following them when you're backtesting, all of that data is now irrelevant. It's not useful, it's invalid. If you're not following every single one of your rules to the T, then that data, again, is not valid, because that's not how you're going to be trading when you're trading live. So this is extremely important. You need to make sure that everything that you're doing is the exact same that you'd be doing if you were trading live. Not, oh no, I can't be asked to do it, that's going to be too long to do. Your data's not going to be valid then, mate. There's no point. You may as well not even fucking start. As you can see here, look, so we've just swept London lows. What I'd be waiting for next is the first bullish candle, and we get that here. So I need to draw the fib from the previous session high to the low, and as you can see here, we would have got the fake out. Okay, we're back. We're back and direct. Sorry, boys. This is the issues with living in Thailand in a hot country. It's not all fucking amazing. Very hot. My laptop's overheating, but we've got the first bullish candle, we've had the fake out. All we need next is a break of structure to the upside. And obviously, as I said, we're gonna be trading the exact same way as I'd be trading if I was trading live. So just waiting for that fractal break of structure to the upside, and we've had that there. So in this case, we're getting the limits on, and I'd be using the fib tool from the bottom of the move to the top of the move. Ooh, and it's too late. What I'd say is, when you're actually looking at tracking everything on your sheets, you need to make sure that you're only putting trades on there. You don't need to be putting days where, oh, there was everything but the trade. That doesn't matter. Only put stuff where your trades are on there. And if there is other confluences that you want to be tracking and measuring, or there's certain reasons why you want to be backtesting, then obviously you can add this into your data collection. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you an example of other stuff that I was looking to track when I was doing a lot of backtesting. So if we look here, this was on EuroCAD. For the 15-minute model only, testing a different pair, also testing different entry points, 4 different entry points on the fib and different SL sizes. So as you can see here, I was really focusing on refining and seeing what is the best for this pair. So if we look here, you can see this is how much data I've tracked. And then I've also looked at the 2 years, over the 2 years, what the actual win rate was, what the R gained was. And then this also allows me to see, okay, maybe the 0.55 is better than 0.618 for this pair. But this is what you need to be doing long-term for your backtesting. If you actually want to refine your model, it's all good in terms of just gathering data and giving you confidence. But if you want to make that model better, oh, for fuck's sakes. Right, boys, as I was saying there, if you're looking to backtest, if you're looking to refine your model, which you need to be doing long-term, you need to be zooming in and focusing on smaller confluences or certain aspects of your model, such as trade times. Get really specific with your trading windows. Look at what windows have lower win rate in terms of when you're being entered into the trade, and look at what windows have higher win rate when you're being entered into the trade. Look at what trade lengths have higher win rate. Look at what trade lengths have lower win rate. And then you can also look at months of the year, which have statistically performed worse every single year for that pair or for your model. That is what you really need to be focusing on if you want to take your trading to the next level. It's all good having data giving you confidence, but actually improving your trading is the next level for you. Once you've got that confidence in your model, the next step is just to refine. And that can be done by changing pairs, backtesting different pairs, but then also refining your confluences, trade times, everything, boys. You can go deep into this rabbit hole, but just remember, this is what you need to be doing. You need to be looking to refine. And if your model is not giving you good enough results yet, and if it is, then just focus on fucking scaling. You can guarantee that model can still be refined in some way, shape or form. So what you need to Google Sheets, map it all out, decide whether you need to be focusing on testing different pairs, testing the model in general to see if it's any good, or looking to refine. Then you're gonna have to focus on other stuff and look at tracking other stuff. And then once you've got that worked out, you need to get tradezella and you need to get a lot of years under your belt. I've got 42 years now. How many years have you got? Lock in, boys. Lock in.